They get to kick things off on the T side. A squad that definitely has that explosive nature, but I feel like Extra Salt can match them toe-to-toe. Marky looking for that opener, but Hard Sell kicks things off with the first kill, and actually, this leaves Sonic with a mountain to climb. He's already gone, and well, so is the A side.
A site has crumbled. OC needs to put down some PaiN over on Banana, but he goes the same way, and it's safe with the Glock, who also takes off the head and finishes off Fang. Exquisite start from the Brazilians. Not a single casualty, and the pistol round, so simple and straightforward for them.
And the rest will be USPs, but let's see what they can do with it.
I've just been absolutely obliterated, so I don't think there's much really. I think that...
Nothing.
That
I don't know. I think it's the angle. Like, I'm pretty sure like Bondic practically makes out with his monitor when he's playing. So I don't know. He likes to see the light in the eyes of his opponent fade, which I'm pretty sure is something.
Well, Sonic does have the AWP in his hand as opposed to OC, which is quite interesting. Well, it's even based off spawn, and OC's gone down first. They've went for the bait and switch, and Fang chomps down for 2. Excellent hold from the Mexican over on middle, but Big Azera finally gets his man. So although Extra Salt were off to a good start, it is a 3v2, and considering that PaiN have plenty of money in the bank, any extra damage from this point would be nice. That's a bit awkward though, Tom, dropping the bomb back at spawn.
Although there's a chance that maybe PKR will either drop him another AWP or a rifle, but they get absolutely nothing. I think the retrieval of the bomb is one thing, but the fact that they have used an awful lot of utility early on to try and garner control of Banana.
Yeah, that's a good point. Only have 2 smokes left. They had a molly. He's already been tossed out. Good flashes, though. Force OC away. He tries to flick down, but can't get it done. And Hard Shell's just straight into the site. The second that OC's picked off, Fang is in all sorts of bother. And now with his life being deemed forfeit, Extra Salt probably have to pull the plug. I don't think they have any interest. They've got more than enough that's worthwhile holding on to. Nekis with a boost over takes down Marky, who was not expecting that at all. And Sonic is still here waiting. At least gets Nekis as a parting gift, but it won't have any bearing on how the round comes down.
And then they just go straight into a brute force push, but it has the backup of good utility. Yeah, they can afford to throw a couple of players into the wind here. The only issue is they don't have much utility. JT is already going to pick off one, but the time is halfway ticked. They need to keep going, and they're going to lose 2 players in a matter of seconds. The crossfire's very strong indeed, and Sonic, if they want a double AWP, he needs to save this. And I don't think that's really an option, although he does manage to take one with him. He needs to try and get away from the bomb, and eventually PKO will close out all remaining weaponry. Sneaky stuff from Nekis. Quarterback 10, it's not a financial decision. He just wants to try and run and gun and now upgrade straight away to the AWP. Timing from Big Azera is not fantastic though, because he's going to get picked off. Hardchow able to trade, but Marky should have this kill, but he doesn't. He gets sprayed down through the smoke. It leaves OC as the last man standing. Now, there is a low player at least, but an afterplant on the A site, I imagine he's just going to save.
CT rounds are going to be worth their weight in gold here, Tom. And honestly, the way this game has started is kind of making that same pattern. You always feel like there's going to be one round like this, Tom, around the corner. Eventually, PaiN are going to do something outrageous and it's not going to work out. They're going to look a bit foolish.
Safe didn't die.
Yeah, I'm not sure how. He's on 34. He's still chilling. Teammates around him are dying, though, and Extra Salt have a golden opportunity to finally get not just a round, but to put it down with authority. Build up the money, take some AKs away from the Brazilian counterparts, but Safe says no. 7 HP remaining now, and his teammate of Big Azera tries to spray into Pit, but is narrowly off by JT.
A big worry. That would do extra damage onto their economy. Sure, they have a little bit of extra cash as it is, but that should be it. Yeah, JT in a good position. The time is ticking as well. Fang boosted up, but it seems like he was completely caught by the flashbang. Exactly the same as before, just left blind as the push looks to come in. OC, he needs to have a step up. The first kill goes his way. He's still buying time for the rotation, and Marky and OC will do enough.
Quickly by Safe, and that opens up some opportunities through on arches. 30 seconds, and Extra Salt have a good idea that the final destination of the bomb will be on A side. Flashbang through, Marky pushes behind it, and his spray is on point. Exquisite work, surgical precision from Marky, and although Nekis is at least put down, OC with 15 seconds and 16 HP to his name. It's looking pretty grim for PaiN to pick up round 13. He's a dead man the second he comes through, and JT collects. Rely more on your teammates. It's going to be B site, though, where all the action comes in. OC's already been flashed off. PKL getting aggressive into the ruins, and Marquis pivots in, bodyguarding the secondary AWP. JT, solid aim. And although Hard Zhao does dink OC instantly,
doing a decent job to bait out some of it, but I guess by catching it, and now Sonic comes through. Will he get away? No, he has Marquis to back him up. A perfect peek, and even gets the side swipe as he leaves. A flawless start to this round.
Yeah, that's excellent by Extra Salt, but I have to query PaiN a little bit here. There's no flashes before the peaks into at least one AWP. You know there's two AWPs there, but Extra Salt, they've turned it round after a horrific start. It's 8-7 going into the second half.
Yeah, the whole squad are about to meet OC, or, well, OC's about to meet the full squad, but they've actually got a couple of players to join him. The flashbangs will leave him blind, but the whole team just waiting, completely slaughter the side of PaiN. Odds out. Maybe just making the decision. Okay, I've now got a kit and an incendiary.
To the CS gods, as it were. But yeah, in terms of staying alive, there's not really anything to save. Bit of money getting printed in, and additionally allows him to wrap around the back now of the CTs and make this site that little bit more uncomfortable. Bigazera off angle will afford him one kill, but that's it. Runs out of ammunition on the CZ, and now it's down to Hard Zhao to try and push up. Banana does take down OC, and considering there were 4 rifles in play here, this is already costly for Extra Salt, and it may not be done just yet. Marky's been tagged.
Yeah, Safe has made this very much doable for Hard Zhao. He's had a pretty decent game so far. The incendiary forces out his first opponent, but he doesn't manage to capitalize, and Marquis, playing with absolute confidence in the end, hits the headshot. Take the red pill, not the blue.
Yeah, it's definitely a mental game, and now there's flashes, smokes, everything being tossed in. It's going the way of the T's thus far, even trades, but now they can start to spill out onto the site. Safe last took a shot round Alcove. He'll be forced out, but Sonic has been tagged down to 7 HP, and he will be also carrying the bomb in alongside Fang, who goes for that full plant. OC takes off the head of Safe, and in doing so forces PaiN back a couple of steps. Now, both Bigazera and Nekis still alive. Nekis, this is where that lack of armor could become an issue, but he has the AWP.
He might be able to kill Sonic, because Sonic had to get away from that bomb just because of how low he was on HP. The other players will be fine. It was a deep plant. Is there really a need to rotate? And still in pretty passive positions as well. No one taking any risks anymore. The fake being sold a little bit by Sonic, but he's going to be dead before he gets anywhere near the top of Banana. And they'll now know this has to be a dedication into the other side of the map.
Yeah, 3 players remaining. Would effectively be a 3-on-3, but there's that 4th player now maneuvering himself in. But Marky and Fang have both got entries. Hard Zhao locks it down from Pit. A 3K. And PaiN Gaming can breathe a collective sigh of relief.
Oh, Safe. Perfectly placed for this piece. Left foot, but what? He's trying to break the whole scoreboard with the amount of things he's just hit through that smoke. It doesn't matter, though. The trades come in thick and fast, leaving 3 players once again to try and retake. Now, the bomb's yet to be planted, and they've got quite a lot of ground fairly quick.
Inroads back in, but if they're going to go for it, it has to be right now. And instead, they'll be flashing their way out to try and save. Hard Zhao picks up the frag, but the timer on the bomb is way too low. And Sonic may get picked off as well. They're doing a good job of at least making this claustrophobic and picking up all the kills, but there shouldn't be enough time for the defuse, and therefore, Extra Salt have done enough. Way too close for comfort. They will be able to buy again. It would be very awkward for PKL and Hard Zhao to hold on to this because they're both over on the quad side of the site. They're smoking off. They will be pushing in just a few moments. The timing could be everything. PKL comes out second best. And although Hard Zhao gets the frag, he's been spotted, funneled back into mini pit, and the T's just stomp him out of the round. It will be a post plant, and once again, PaiN Gaming have a decision.
It's getting to the point where they have to truly fight for one of these rounds. They've been hesitant each time. They found kills, but they've retreated. But this could be it. 3 players tagged. The 2 of Healthy on the other side. They don't have any utility, though. A single flashbang. The kit's available to them. JT just holding. Sat back. Half the time gone on the clock already. I think they're just going to back out of this round. It seems too little too late to try and make a push. So hesitant in their move. And now Bigazera goes alone. It looked like Nekis had no intention of pressuring into this round. Sure, an exit kill, sure, a little bit of a stat pad is nice, but at this stage, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, picking up the AWP is definitely a welcome little bonus, but when you're eyeing up 6 map...
Oh, I like the decision. Let's change the game up completely. They're going to get right up in the faces, but it has not worked. It is going to be a trade back for Safe. He's given them a chance at least to play a split between either site, and actually Fang goes in alone. Maybe expecting no further presence on the B site.
Is shimmying round the corner. If he just checks below him, you'll spot him next to the hay bales. If there's any noise made, Saif can just spin around, but he doesn't check the angle, and Marky has him dead to rights. And with Saif's life being deemed forfeit, Big Azera now needs to clutch a 1v2. The molly will stop his path through into apps and additionally quad, which allows them to get in better post-plant positions. The element of surprise will be so much harder for him to attain, and he may have just been spotted by Graveyard. So instead, he will go up into balcony. But this is a bottleneck. It's a claustrophobic angle to come out of, and it's not like he has a pop flash to toss over on the chimney before he pushes in. He's only got a smoke. He needs this first kill right away. He gets it, spins around, and saves PaiN just for a little bit longer. Beautiful play from Big Azera.
What's the angle being played by Sonic? That's one of the ballsiest angles I think I've seen in my entire life. And not the start that Extra Salt were looking for, but they have been able to bring back rounds in the past. Fang getting aggressive here. PKL waiting on the edge of the smoke. This is so risky, but he walks through for 2. The flashbang from Hardzao is spot on, and now he comes up with a kill of his own. OC tag low. He's making it costly. He's doing damage. He gets a 3rd kill in a row, somehow making this one look possible. But he will have to go back and retrieve the bomb. 40 seconds left to try and play with this. Peek into the apartments. I think he's got the timing wrong. A nice attempt from OC. A glimmer into what this man can do. He's going to try to continue to deny them. There goes the smoke, but here comes the push.
Oh, that aim is spot on from Nekis, but Marky and Fang step up. PKL sprays them both down. A 2-on-2. But this is where the lack of utility comes full circle. They've only got a flash for a retake. And with an AWP in the hands of Safe, that's excellent, but they need to really lean on Hardzao considerably. He needs to go in first. He needs to take some of that fire away and draw the fire away from Safe so that he can try and clutch this one. Otherwise, they're in real trouble. They both have kits. The flashbang being tossed up and over. Now need to spill out into the open. The flash did connect onto OC, but isn't going to thwart his attempts at holding down from coffins. Sonic can hear the footsteps. First player's gone down. Beautiful one-tap. Hardzao is going to be picked off. An Extra Salt take the first map of the grand finals, and it's PaiN's pick of Inferno.
Yeah, a clinical T-side coming out from Extra Salt, but also a great resurgence after what was a...
Down to 32, he pulled off a 1v2 clutch earlier on Inferno to keep them alive, but he may have to go above and beyond here. Safe, though, does have a good rotational play as the flank comes in, tapping at range, takes down a couple of players, but everyone around him is dying. And Big Azera, the first player to take damage for the Brazilians, is the last to stand. He is at least getting the element of surprise behind the site, but he's been plucked out by JT and Extra Salt. They claim first blood again. As is so often the case, pretty easy to get onto, especially when you know that the opposition doesn't have too much utility to play with. So none of those Molotovs, but a big headshot from Big Azera. Takes a flash just afterwards, can hold in position and wait for the rest of the troops to arrive, or perhaps he'll just take the fight to them single-handedly. Safe's also gone in for 2. Doubling up on 2 players, JT spins into action with 1. But without a Molotov, he can't bank it off the wall, and he's all alone. They're tickling the bomb, drawing out into the open. They have no kits. Maybe he can deny the bomb planter, but other than that, it's just going to fall into position. PaiN actually take the round, and only Hardzao is a casualty in the entire process. I cannot believe that's just happened, Tom. That's a big frag at that. Mac 10 also picked up at range. PKL trying to use the AK against the oncoming Ts. 3 players to watch out for. And Marky's put him out of his misery. Surely we're not going to have back-to-back 4 spies being successful, but that seems to be the case.
This looks impossible now, especially with the pincer onto the site from both Ivy and wrapping through. Big Azera is giving it a damn good try. The loss bonus makes it a little bit off. Especially for the CT side, like you might have a more catastrophic if it was the Brazilians to lose in this battle. The push going to come onto the site. Flashbang's going through, but it's left a lot of players blind. In fact, the T's themselves struggling. JT will fall within the smoke. PKO has picked off another. It's only Sonic finally trading. Will he spot Big Azera? He does. However, it might be too little too late. They have lost far too many members on this push, and there's only so much Sonic can do.
Oh, Marky finally, he was looking to get the AK, got kind of wrecked by the train and safe.
Neck is looking to try and get aggressive. I don't know if they've spotted a pixel of him. The flashbang's good. He's completely blind, but nobody actually capitalizes on it. He will eventually fall, but Bigazera, again, so aggressive in the way he goes for these trades, eventually is punished. Now, with 3 players surviving still, the problem is that Marky's timed his peak almost perfectly, and the remaining 2 players have to almost pull out hero plays. Hardzao tries his best, but eventually they all fall. Again, though, they're not completely tapped out of this. I think we might see another buy. Sage is desperately trying to find an angle, but it's OC and then Neckers to trade things back. It has turned into almost a pub-style brawl. OC's going to swing the final chair and leave the man knocked out on the deck. Fang, all his friends have fallen. If he could take down the AWP, it might actually make things interesting, and although he's walking backwards, the timing could work out for him eventually. Although PKL now wraps further around the corner, it's a ring around the Rosie, and he's got himself into a hidden peak, but the AWP scope could give him away, and it will. That's enough information for Fang to surely get this kill. He has to almost peek into the angle, but that gives him the 1v1. A rifle retrieved as well for Hardzao as he faces back in, and he will land the headshot.
That's how it feels.
Any train in London.
Exactly. Any train in the northeast as well. It's pretty grim. It's not over just yet, but it is seemingly like PaiN have pulled the plug. They're not interested. I say that. His Neckers just goes for a wide swing, and Bigazera's actually moving in. It's almost like they do want to go for this still. I'm not sure what the idea was there from PaiN Gaming, but they've conceded so much for it, and now more weapons can trade hands, and Extra Salt are just going to be that much more powerful going into the next round.
Yeah, I'm not sure this leaves them in a far worse spot than they'd ever want to be in. Because even if last time they managed to get 9 rounds, firstly, it wasn't enough. And secondly, can they do that again? Now, OC, just phenomenal with the Glock to get that much done. But Hardzao's not going to feel too bad about this. He's unknowingly also got control of the bomb, but... Oh, JT... He's got the bomb. Now, it's ended up as a really weird scenario. First, your AWP being isolated. Now, the bomb being isolated. Safe, doing a decent job, but it's Fang. Again, highlighted on the desk initially. Doing a great job in this game. It's been him and OC, the players to watch. Hardzao trying to turn the tide, and the dink connected, but the second bullet won't quite land. We're not even going to imagine that the other side of the map even exists. Or maybe you could call it a wingman map. Might make more sense. But either way, it's just going to be a continued rush straight away. But maybe they are trying to bait them in here. He's just going to fly straight down the ramp. Hardzao, though, finally stops them. But again, well, they tried to go B. Really, Fang? Really? What is this Fang, thanks?
Yep, so stats helix in this one then. Blair and Maui, yeah. You wanna
Please,
break this
I want
one down?
Blair. DreamHack, make Blair break down this round. A fast push into the B site to still force them to at least dedicate someone there. Safe Sort will find a response, but he's quickly removed once again, and the shots on the man on top are just not working out. JT has had a fantastic couple of rounds, puts himself right near the top. PKL has found one back, but it's JT all the way, and Sonic chimes in alongside him once again. 9 rounds already for Extra Salt.
But it's a bit of a slower take. They're not just rushing out this time. They're pushing main now, and they're going to have those components of Pop Dog with flashes behind it. AWP shot does connect, but partially through the wall. Fan gets hit a second time, but OC now up to the plate to deliver one in return, and Safe has to fall back onto the site, but there's a Molotov down in connector. So the time being, he's all alone. The flick up is good, but Marky on the approach takes him down, and Sonic seals the deal. 10-5 at halftime to Extra Salt. They're very close to securing the second map. If it goes to 3-0, we may not see it after all. Sonic up close, though, with a CZ, and puts 2 bullets through PKL's head. Looking for more and gets it. He may have enough time for the reload and draws them out into the open. How is he still alive? How has he got another kill? And the 4th as well. Sonic is dodging bullets somehow, some way. But Bigazera is still in this. He's picked up 3 of his own, and Sonic gets an ace. How has he survived that, Tom? An Extra Salt can move in accordingly. Also, aggressive positions up on B site. Marky's hearing footsteps, turns his back, expecting the flash, still connects the shot, loses no health. Another flash is tossed in, does nothing towards him, and now look at how much support he has. The support structure is set up on top of the train so that even if Marky goes down, they should be able to deal with him. The kill from Safe, though, did turn their attention elsewhere and allows them to divide and conquer outside. Now, OC is the last bastion of hope, but it's the FAMAS that tags Safe down to 7, who's now been finished off by Fang. But 2-on-2 with 15 seconds to spare, but there is a flanking element in play. Marky is moving around the back of them. 12 seconds. They still need to get the bomb down.
This is such a solid read from Neckers, though. He expects him to make that move, and Hearts Out, all he has to do is kill off the remaining man. That was... Oh, there goes Sonic. Now, Marky played this exact angle last round, and they expect it this time. Hearts Out starting off strong. Exactly what they needed going into this CT half, and now the remaining players have a decision to make. It looks like they're going to try and hold down the fort on A. The B site is going to be left completely open. They'll have to start hitting some shots, and that's not a bad start. The problem is the trade, but OC, he's brought things back. They'll have to do it all. A 1 versus 3 to try and close out this round, and the likelihood looking slim.
Yeah, somewhere between slim and none, but maybe the percentage is now starting to go more towards his favor. 3 kills, Safe on 13 HP is going to get up close and personal. And this is where the AWP will suffer. It will struggle. OC's been baited out. He hears the weapon, and Safe will put him down. Excellent try from OC. Really nice effort. Dealing with the flash that came in and actually did more harm to the CTs than good. And he's actually trying to smoke himself into a good position. They push the smoke, and they push into their demise. Now, he will get picked off, but they're already hitting B site. The bomb's not with them just yet, though, and that may afford Extra Salt a chance to maneuver their way in.
I don't know if they'll expect Bigazera to be this close, though. That's the problem. He's made his way through into CT. You can see JT is spotting for it, but it's almost similar to last round. The only way this really bites them is if Bigazera doesn't spot him either, and he somehow manages to thread the needle and deny the plant, which I really don't see happening. I think he even made a little bit of noise, and JT actually does win the duel.
He's being pushed from his left-hand side. The timing affords him safe passage pass, but Neckers has spotted him. Sprays to play the mind games. But he's now been put down to 46. Sonic misses his shot. These are shots they would have been connecting before. And now the tides of Counter-Strike are starting to sweep away Extra Salt. It came in way quicker than anticipated. The post-plant is looking likely. There's no way he can stop him with that HE. And now Extra Salt only have OC. I say only OC. He has been the player that has been most consistent on both sides, but I feel like he probably doesn't want to overstay his welcome. He has the AWP, he's got a bit of utility, but the lack of kit's a problem. There is one down just behind the bomb.
I want to see this man at the forefront of their defense, and at this stage, I feel like this was a round, like you look at the first 20, 30 seconds and...
Drawing out the shot, getting information, he would have seen both players there on Ivy, and there's only 38 seconds left on the clock. It stands to reason that's either a wraparound or it's likely going to be an A hit, so you don't need to take many players and put them on the B site. Big frag from Marky onto Bigazera. That's the one AK that goes down alongside him and weakens the firepower considerably. But on top of that, JT is going in, and as is Sonic. 2 players remain, 15 seconds on the clock. JT gets rattled by Neckers' Deagle, but then instantly he is suppressed by Marky, and Safe is not long for this world afterwards. Extra Salt have 2 chances now to take the 2-0 lead in the grand finals.
It does look like that's the direction they're going to go in, so PK out, he almost needs to W key all the way to the back of the site, and because of the aggression that's coming from Extra Salt, they've got a pretty good read.
Shots missed, but they know there's going to be a ton more players behind. It looks like it's the beginning of the end. Fang with the AUG up close, sprays in for a second frag. And where 2 have pushed in, the last 2 will not be too far behind them. Safe, though, with the Deagle, does at least put 1 bullet down range to the head, but finally he will succumb to his wounds, as will PaiN Gaming. It was scrappier than I think we both thought at half-time, but they still got it. And to make matters a little bit worse, they start on the T side of the map, where they've got to get success early on and not allow Extra Salt the ability to build up a foundation. That's a hell of a start. Fang's been dinked already on the stairs, has to fall back. Good flashbangs tossed in, but OC and JT at the back of the site are ripping off heads, chewing up PaiN and spitting them out, and OC's gone in for another one. At this point, they may not even get a frag for their troubles, PaiN. They've been utterly forced back, and Hard Zhao having to watch down from ramp as he's forced away with the bomb, but there's a flank coming in. Marky has the flank covered. Surely there's no way forward for Hard Zhao in this round.
You'd have to hope at least an OC continues what was his form from the last map.
Yeah, the classic waterfall out of apps. Flashbang before it, but Fang is in good position. He had a good read of the situation. They also had JT that was pressing up aggressively on ramp. So even though Fang got hit right in the face with a flash, JT had that on lock alongside OC. And for the second consecutive round, it is a clean sweep with the SMGs.
Yeah, there'd have to be something pretty special here, especially with just the weaponry that's available. Fang is going to try and hold on to the window, and maybe the time could help them out a bit. He's actually going to peek through and find a kill onto Safe, and the timing couldn't work better for OC. He's now retrieved himself an extra gun, and it's all falling apart. The Brazilians were looking fantastic, and now they've got to rush onto this B site, and look at the spot from Sonic. I think they've realized there's a chance of him being around the apartments. With no one being on this site, it's an easy guess to be had. However, how do you hold on to this 2v4, especially with no extra grenades and no real control?
Yeah, Sonic's also embracing that fact they know he's there. He's going to be the chaos creator. He's going to try and run interference while the rest of his teammates push through on the market side. And instantly, Marky rips off the head of PKL. Nekis with the AK at range runs out of bullets. Looks to his teammates. They exchange the fist bumps, but it doesn't stop the fact that they are going to be 3-0 down. The bomb plant, nice and all, but when you come into the round and you take JT down right off the bat there, Tom.
I think Marky has spotted the flashbangs good, but he's going to be forced into a pretty awkward position. Already, OC's going to be dropped elsewhere as well, so even the rotation's going to be a little bit rough. They're going to need Marky to do some serious work on this site, and he's slowly being surrounded. Don't see any way out of this, and he only finds one. Seemingly, the grenades are not going to be an issue for PaiN, as they managed to win this round almost flawlessly. Only PKO was dropped right at the end, and they managed to pick Extra Salt apart.
And you've made the most of that potential timing window. That is not a round, Tom, that I can look at and say that PaiN Gaming...
Oh, the timing in this round has been so weird. OC has looked away from the connector just as a player has pushed it. Now he's going to get peeked as well. Teammate not watching anything, I think looking towards CT, in fact. It just looks so disjointed at the moment from Extra Salt. The communication just isn't quite there.
17 seconds, the plant is starting to go down. Some damage in the finished off frag from Marky. So even though it's post-plant, 2v2, Bigazera, he's had some big performances today. Maybe called upon again, and Sonic caught in transition. The smoke down on connector means that Marky has to focus his attention towards window. Maybe faking that out, especially now that the smoke is cleared. They did have a player towards window, that's safe. But the time is dwindling. Marky has the kit, but no longer has a head.
Fang's going to find a second pick, but again they go towards B. And Marky's had a bit of a rough time. He's got the support of OC, though, who has not been missing, and the 1-2 punch. Peek, okay, Marky, maybe a little bit aggressive, but his opponent has been tagged low, and from losing rounds to gaps in their defense to a flawless one.
As a flash precedes a peek from Safe, he goes out wide. They both miss each other. OC, the way he was playing on Train, I'd expect him to land that shot every day of the week. He at least avenged JT's life and takes down Nekis before Sonic puts in the secondary up. And OC rummages back towards the B site, shuts down Hard Zhao, and PKL's not long afterwards. So Safe is all alone, 1-on-3s, throw to smoke, he's been tagged. And surely no hope to get anything done at this point. Pretty much has to run through the smoke, and OC's there with the USP. Oh, it's just so brutal, isn't it? As you said, Tom, even if JT had just died, I honestly still think that push was 100% worthwhile, because it allows them to stack the sites that little bit stronger. The bomb's now been spilled down, 30 seconds to go. They have to go and pick up the bomb first, but Bigazera taking off the head of Fang. That could put them back into this round before Sonic pounces with one, misses the second shot, still need to retrieve the bomb. It's out in the open, but the smoke on Catwalk affords Hajao safe passage. Also replenishing the smoke on Connector, but Marquis will deny him on the approach. And Big Azera has decisions to make. Realizes he doesn't have time to go back and pick up the bomb, so he's going to hunt for kills instead. At least he died before the end of time, though, so he doesn't get completely money screwed. So I don't think we're going to see a slower pace from Extra Assault when the roles are reversed. So for me, PaiN, they've got to be getting more rounds. That's an exquisite flash. Perfect flashbang. JT never stood a chance, but OC has already put up 17 kills, 123 ADR. The flash barely affects him. They line up, and he nearly just shinned PKL through his first teammate. Sonic, in the meanwhile, puts up that second AWP, and although there's a lot of damage down to safe, he does at least hold on for the kill. 2v2 suddenly becomes a 2v1, but Hardshell's position, they will have no idea about. He should get the drop onto Marky. He's waiting for that second player to show himself. Now goes in, and the spray is good. And those are the kind of plays that PaiN Gaming need to rally behind.
They're so close. One of them's going to get a kill here, for sure.
Sonic is playing this perfectly. He knows their key to win this is he has to be patient. He was expecting a second player to come through apps. Didn't anticipate that Hardshell would jump through the window first. But the bomb's been dropped down at the top of apps. It's going to take them a while to go back up there and get it, so it's so important that Neck is connected to headshot. Otherwise, maybe Extra Assault could have wiggled their way back onto the site and caught them by surprise. The round will fall underway of the Brazilians, 2 in a row, and they're at least posting up.
Getting pushed by these pistols. Marky has somehow managed to win the battle versus Neckers, and now Safe goes down. Not like this. Marky's got an AK as well. We know what this man can do. PKL, he's cleaning things up, however, and that AK has since been dropped to the deck. OC can do no more, but look at the HP. This very easily could have been a round to Extra Assault.
So post plant's in effect. 2 of the 3 are in window, and Fang is already out on jungle side towards the staircase. Utility is lacking on both teams, but a lot of damage is being put down onto Safe. Not sure if they even saw him, if it was just a general angle where most players will occupy in post plants. Big Azera now at the back of the site, looking good to fend off the aggression, and it very well could be the 8-7 scoreline. OC is trying his best, but 8-7 will be the score. We've been here multiple times before. Can PaiN finally bring one back and take us into a 4th map? Find out after this break. Understand why we want to put everything behind in the way he's been playing. 21 kills coming into this half. But with his loss of life, the strat may be dashed against the rocks. PKL catching them in a bit of chaos. 2, make it 3 alongside Nekis. And it seems they've done a beautiful job of repelling the initial charge. Very reminiscent to the first pistol round, where Extra Assault absolutely battered PaiN Gaming. They've returned the favor, Tom. But they actually haven't thrown it on CT just yet. Now it's going to come up. So that will afford them safe passage post-plant. But with the player already low, with the MP9 in his hands, and PKL low, this is anybody's round. Hardjow, though, good spray into Sonic. OC taking the initiative, trying to get up close and bridge the gap with the Tech 9. He's effectively throwing and rolling the dice that no one will be pushing in from Connector or Jungle for the time being. And he will get caught momentarily from the backside, and it's Big Azera that puts him to rest. It's understandable why he'd gamble in, though. When you're basically just against full-on buys, you've only got pistols, you kind of have to go for that Hail Mary play. So I don't blame him for it at all. It's close, though, Tom. Sonic may be a bit too premature with that shot. There's a player down to his left who I'm sure is going to peek into him. Decent damage to PKL, and OC has broken the curse for Extra Assault in the round with 1. JT right behind it. Safe now and more pressure, but does come out swinging with the first frag. Change the attention, that flick is perfect. And the smoke that was tossed in by the T's actually allows him to escape, and then he goes back in for more.
And Hardshell about to come under some serious pressure. Luckily, he's got his buddy Big Azera to hold the fort down alongside him.
His buddy has been picked off, though, and that means that Hardshell has to come out with some more kills. He goes in with 2. OC with a Deagle and an M4 by his side. 2 players to find and frag. Post-plant will be coming up. There's no Kevlar for OC. Does that make him a little bit more apprehensive about taking the M4? Perhaps not, and he's already put down the first frag. He's already got a perfect read of the situation that the last player will be coming through from the market, but the USB headshot is delivered swiftly.
Still looks like they want to pressure here. Marky has a bit of support, but Big Azera is going to clear that up, and JT, I don't know if he can take the risk. Again, it's starting to look disjointed. from the T side. Desperate to capitalize. What is that from Nekiz? A fadeaway headshot. The interesting thing is Sonic, though. He's gaining so much ground. He gets tagged up, though, and eventually gets away with things, but Bigazera is so quick to trade, and JT, he's almost been on a yo-yo in this round. Back and forth he goes, eventually to his doom. 3 rounds now for PaiN.
It was like an A-hit simulator, basically. So it is surprising to me that we haven't seen more executes from Extra Salt, and now they're playing right into the hands of the Brazilians. We know that individually they're a very skilled bunch of players. You go in one by one, you're probably going to go out one by one. And here is the crossfire. PKL gets spotted by 2. The fact he gets 1 kill is huge, but now his teammates are falling around him. Maybe a chance for Extra Salt to start that comeback track right here, right now. Hard Zhao's had a very good performance on 20 kills.
Yeah, this is, of course, a continuation, and Fang, well, if he steps up now, that could be the game changer. I do wonder if it's going to be the same again, and it looks like it will be, unless JT can save him. He's on 3 HP. I am a bit perplexed, and Sonic! How has he managed to get through the window? That's a huge mistake. There's even a player through the ladder room. So the fact he's managed to get through there without anybody spotting is huge. And Fang, that's ridiculous. A turnaround headshot, leaving Safe alone. This has been a fall apart round for PaiN, and I honestly don't know how it happened.
Down. So Extra Salt, some just ruthless aggression has yielded so much. Now, fortunately for PaiN, they've got the AWP in their hands.
A full clip into the man. Now going peeking, though. Marky finally gets the battle on, and Bigazera, there's no chance for him here. It took a long time for Marky, well, excuse the pun, to get off the mark. But this time, he's managed to bring it through. And the remaining players, Vince, they've just got a save. So
what Marky does is he waits to hear the reload and then pushes out and just gets a free kill. And that's the round done. Why is the player on car not watching apps if you don't have a secondary player watching there? And why is he the one spraying the panels? It makes no sense at all to me. And he has to take a really awkward up-close engagement, knowing he could get pushed from ramp at any second.
I think he's made the realization, and this time he's just not quite clinical enough. The push from JT as well is going to put pressure elsewhere as they look to wrap into this site. Nice work from Bigazera, though. He looks to turn things back. Marky's desperately low. They've got a smoke for the cross, but Hard Zhao's still watching from CT. Gonna try and maybe bait him out a little bit, but there's a lot of damage being done. I feel like OC is gonna have to go pretty big here, but he's waiting. He's holding on to CT. The problem at the moment is they don't have any control, and you can see Fang realizing that. He's going to try and wrap back around. Good shot from Hard Zhao will start things off in this retake as it comes down to just 2 players to try and hold. Another gets connected, and Fang has got to get his running shoes on. They're going to expect this, though. Surely, never mind. They line up. He almost manages to get 2, but the problem is now he's stuck in the mud. They know exactly where he is. He lands the first and the second as well. What a play from Fang to bring them back in this round.
He can trade up that now to the AK. That's an excellent start for the Brazilians, but they need to build on this, and Hard Zhao has been destroyed.
Oh, saves MP9. It's nailed one. The flashbang's not bad, and Bigazera, try as he might, is going to end up getting traded. Sonic's found another one. It's left on to Nekiz. Another clutch situation, but the shots are being missed, and he's got to try and find something here. The wraparound just not being found by either player, and it's eventually OC to shut it down, I think. But over the last few rounds, it just seems like the stars of Extra Salt have aligned at the perfect moment. OC is going to get boosted up. He lands the shot, but doesn't quite get the kill. Hard Zhao could be everything here, though, Vince, as he's in the smoke.
He is the ace up the sleeve, the difference maker, and he is spraying down all 3. That should be the round that goes with him. Maybe we're not done just yet, but OC is still in with a chance. He sees the barrel of the gun. He knows exactly what Hard Zhao is, but it's all about the other players. And he needs his secondary player of Fang to make a move or do something. But he was slowly making a move through Murder Hole, too little too late. Safe around the corner, has a good idea about it, but he comes out second best. And PaiN.
An important, well, almost trade. I guess it wasn't really. The flashbang is good to give some space, but Nekiz is going to drop Sonic. There was no real opportunity there to find anything back. He needed to try and be a hero and fails. It leaves 2 players down and out already. EKO in an aggressive position as well. Is JT going to expect this? He's been caught off a fair few times throughout this map. This battle could be everything and he wins it. That opens up the B site. There's a rotation coming from Hardza, but he opts to just try and hold the cross. Realizing the chances, he needs to try and play this as a retake, but actually opts to try and get close to the smoke. JT also lurking around the edge. He should just wait for his teammates, and by the looks of it, he will.
Bigazera is the player coming through apps. The problem is he's only got 5 HP to his name, and OC's already finished off Hard Shout. Now the smokes are starting to fade, starting to clear. Marky hops up. The timing does favor Bigazera. He was not spotted. Do they go back in and look again? This is where they need Nekis to have some impact, but he's missed, and OC can spin around in time. It comes down to safe. 1 on 2. Misses the first shot, misses the second. An extra salt. They're going to clean sweep the grand finals. 3-0.
Yeah, the scoreline may be a little bit misleading. A 3-0 in the finals, but the fact is they've had to grind for it. They lost 10 rounds in a